You hear the screeching of an owl, you hear the wind begin to howl. You know there's zombies on the prowl. And it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night. It's terror time again. And you just might die of fright. It's a terrifying time.
Hello everyone. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a variety of smaller but still interesting map mods, with one exception that range from large fire stations to tucked away hidden bunkers and more. We've got a lot of cool locales to show you, but before we begin, I'd like to thank today's artist Katophoenix, and I'd like to ask you to like and comment on the video. It does help a lot. But now, let's get right into the video, shall we? Are you looking for a place to hunker down and wait out the storm? Ride out the apocalypse? Well, if that's the case, then let me introduce the Overfield Lane Bunker by Gabester. This little hideaway located to the east of Valley Station Racetrack, or the airstrip, is based on the bunker from 10 Cloverfield Lane, hence the name. Now, if you'd prefer, you could spawn here, which gives you an actual spawn point in Valley Station, so that's a pretty nice benefit with this map. And now, this place is a fairly small base, but it's nicely tucked away, with the grassy slopes hidden away nicely by arboreal cover. There's a small medical room, a bedroom, a bathroom, living room, and a kitchen with plenty of amenities like an additional mini fridge and deep freeze. I like the visual design and style of it, especially the mini metal walls that make it feel more like a bunker. Now keep in mind, if you don't have a key, one of the doors won't work, but there are doors around it, so it's not a big deal. So either lure some zombies in, smack it down, or work around it. Overall, this place is cozy, tucked away, and has its own lake right to the south. So there's some pretty good capacity to fish nearby. There's also a ladder inside here that would theoretically work with the ladders mod, but due to the fact there's roof tiles above it, you can't actually climb it. You'd have to find an alternative way up there, smash the floor tile, and then you'd be able to use the ladder like normal. Good work, Gabester. You made a very nice and cozy little base. While it's definitely capable of having a good amount of supplies, especially the hardware room, it's not so OP that it's like, well, I've got nothing else to do but kick back and relax. Are you sensing a bit of my bias, eh? Well, if you haven't guessed, I like bunkers and single building hidden map bases a lot, like the Survivor Warehouse I featured a few months ago. But let's dive into the West End Bunker by CYPKA. This baby is tucked away to the east of West Point, but it also has its own spawn point if you prefer to spawn here in a base ready to go. Now this place really does have everything you'd need. Well, at least almost everything. The downstairs filled with automotive loot as well as a small armory. There's a large fenced off lake to keep the zombies out from every direction but the main gate. There's even a cabin located just outside the lake with a wood-fired oven. This base really does have it all, from hardware and weaponry to the second floor, as well as a miscellaneous locker loot. Plus there's several bathrooms, a nice big bedroom, along with a small library, a second larger armory, and even a small barracks room filled with army cots and military lockers filled with military loot. While aesthetically I definitely do like this, especially how large it is with plenty of space for multiple people, as well as its prime placement on the very outskirts of West Point, I can't help but be somewhat disappointed with just how much loot it has, especially weaponry wise. This place is more loaded with guns than many military checkpoints and police armories in game. But hey, if you want to have some fun with some guns, then this may just be the base for you. I do like the fenced off lake as well. Overall, it's a pretty dope, if not a bit OP place. One last complaint I'd like to say is the fact the in-game map doesn't work with this map, but that's likely because this place hasn't been updated since October 2021, so hey, it's all good. Have you ever wondered why the Muldraugh region, one of the most popularly played areas in the game, doesn't have its own fire department? I sure have. Well, thanks to Mylu, we now have the Muldraugh Fire Department. This is a well-stocked fire department just ready to roll out to meet any emergency in town. Well, except the undead. They really didn't expect zombies now, did they? Now this place is pretty nice. A large 2-story fire station that's just chock full of hardware and fire supplies on the first floor. There's also a few offices on the first floor, as well as a laundry room and a locker room with a plentiful supply of clothing. Now the second floor is where the good base related stuff is. You have a barracks / bunk room with a row of lockers, a bathroom and shower room, second floor rooftop access with some relaxation amenities as well as another office. But more importantly, there's a nice large kitchen with a fine supply of food, including deep freezers and crates capable of spawning sacks of food. And a couple sacks of potatoes goes a long way towards keeping alive, especially if you toss them right into the deep freezers located beside them. This place is on fire with all the loot. You'll be blazing through the zombies with the supplies found here. They'll have to axe you to leave them alone. Are you looking for guns and ammo? And I don't mean just a handful, but I mean an absolute metric fuck ton. Like an insane amount of guns and ammo. Then let me introduce the Delta Creek Munitions Factory by Freebird 550. This is the largest mod on today's video. And now this place is absolutely massive. But you can't spawn here, so it makes it more of a destination and end goal, and I like that because this 9-building compound is sprawling, and just loaded with every type of loot you could reasonably think of. Guns and ammo? Oh, we've got that in spades. An absolute shit ton of hardware. More than I really expected to be here, actually. More books than a nerd could read in a year. Clothing, food, drinks, all around. Especially as some of the buildings have proper cafeterias and break rooms in them. One thing I do like in this factory compound is located in the center of the map. So it's a good journey and is located to the west of Ekron. You'll have to take a long journey on foot no matter which spawn point you choose. I'd personally recommend one of the farmhouses in the region as your base. Though if you desired, you could take this factory over as a base. I will warn you though, the hordes here are pretty large, and due to an error on the part of the map maker, several of the buildings do not have lighting. So be ready to fight lots of zombies in the dark. And I really hope you didn't come here late at night, because you're gonna have a bad time. Another thing to keep in mind is that several of the buildings also have locked security doors, so you'll need to kill zombies inside to get them to spawn keys to let you fully traverse the buildings, or be ready to knock down a wall or the window or the door itself. How you proceed, however, is entirely your choice. I do definitely dig the place, and if you're looking for enough munitions to outfit an entire army, well, you've got a good choice of map mod to add to your game. Are you looking for a getaway? Just a nice little home in the woods to get away from it all? Then I may have a mod for you. Introducing the Forest House mod by Ionical. A small heads up though, this map's not compatible with West Point expansion, because some of that town overlaps where this house and lake would be. But with that word of warning out of the way, we could talk about this pretty little home. This 2-story house is located on the east of West Point, and has some nice perks to it over other potential base points in the region, including a driveway that connects to the main road into Valley Station. There's a nice small lake located to the north for all your fishing needs. There's a well on the property that'll provide you with all the clean drinking water you could ever need. We haven't even talked about the home itself. The house has a good supply of bookcases, a nicely sized garage to fit your car into, a large kitchen with a glass patio dining room, a large bathroom and laundry on the first floor, as well as a nice living room with the first fireplace. That's right, because this house has 2 fireplaces. Now we head up to the second floor, dispose of a wandering vagrant, and check out the kids' bedroom. There's also another spacious office with a good couple of bookshelves, and the master bedroom comes with an additional fireplace, which is really nice for the winter when the power is out, as this gives the master bedroom a reliable source of warmth in the winter without having to scrounge up a wood stove, as well as an upstairs cooking source to keep yourself fed during sieges. Just drag a fridge up here and you're set. My only complaint is the fact this place isn't mapped to the mini-map, but given it hasn't been updated since like December, I can let that slide. Overall, I enjoy this place. It's everything I like in a base. It's remote enough to stay safe, but not so remote you can't loot reliably. It's large and spacious, but it's not filled with so much loot that is, well, look, I've won, GG, time to start again. Nice work, Ionical, I like it. I think we've covered a fine assortment of mods, from a literal fucking military weapons factory to a good old doomsday bunker just hidden away in the woods for a rainy day. I think my favorite has to be either the forest house, the Overfield bunker, or the munitions factory. While the West End bunker is nice, it's just a bit too OP with no time or danger investment. Really, while the munitions factory has a lot of value, but it's also a lot of danger. And it forces you to actually take the time to travel there. No spawning there for you means you don't get all the loot to start the game with. But at the end of the day, the forest house or the overworld bunkers are really just more my fancy. I like their aesthetic and their locations are great. Far away enough from sources of dangers to provide some safety, but close enough to allow you to travel within a reasonable amount of time to loot and fight. And the forest house reminds me of the West Point lake houses, just not nearly as isolated. With it being to the edge of West Point and not in the middle of nowhere, it's a mini lake house basically. But I think that's enough for today's video. Check them out, be sure to support the mod creators, they deserve your support. And speaking of support, be sure to support today's artists, and I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for your support to the channel. Especially the members, donors, and patrons of the channel seen on the screen in front of you. Y'all's support means a lot. Thanks again, and the last thing I'd like to say is, I'm sorry about some of the videos being late for the last couple of weeks, as well as the lack of streaming. I've started a new full-time job and I've been adjusting my schedule and working things out. But once again, thanks for the support. This has been Core, and I'll see you next time.